is nearly 3 o'clock. Again, I woke up at 8:30. Again, I went back to bed for a nap while still in my pyjamas. Again, I got up somewhere around 10 o'clock. I don't care, it's Sunday. James got up before me. He started the day by sorting out the doorbell because it's been a bit dodgy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and recently it's more towards the doesn't end of the spectrum. So that's now sorted out, and quite serendipitously as well, because later this morning James had a second pedal for his keyboard delivered, so he's been playing with that. He's also done some washing up and some laundry, and the washing up is lovely. Whilst I don't dislike washing up per se, I hate doing the same thing again and again and again, day after day after day, because it gets really, really tedious. You may also have noticed that this is on a slight wonk. I am on the floor of our spare room again. I have got my phone attached to a box that's full of yarn for me to make a lopie. I mean, there's some other stuff as well there as well, but I cannot get the angle of the phone straight. So I'm having to sit up at a slight angle to make this all work, because if I was going to sit up straight, it would be like this, which you can see from the drawers behind me is not going to work properly. You can tell that I'm taking this whole blogging thing seriously because I've actually gone to the effort of doing my hair and putting on lipstick that doesn't look hideous. So last month, end of last month it would have been, I dropped my retractable lipstick brush down the back of the toilet. It got covered in dust, and being the base of the toilet, I can't help thinking there are lots of germs and yucky things there as well. So although I picked it up and washed it several times, every time I looked at it I was like, I know where you've been and I do not want you anywhere near my face, let alone my mouth. So my lipstick brush has been thrown away. Yesterday, I think it was, day before, I tried to put red lipstick on without the lipstick brush, and I basically ended up looking like Robert Smith. So when this is all over, one of my non-essentials, which is going to become an essential maybe, will be a new lipstick brush. Genuinely, it's not an essential now. I do not need it to live. So I'm just going to have to be careful with makeup until such times as I have the luxury of a lipstick brush, or else I could just go through my makeup bag and find my other retractable lipstick brush, which I know is there somewhere. The other reason I have my hair in plaits is to show you this, which I actually knit back in February. I had in my bag over the last week to wear in case I needed it, but luckily I didn't. But I do want to share it here, because if I don't, it's going to end up going into a drawer ready for next winter and will never see the light of day. Well, it will see the light of day, but it will get shown off months and months after it's completed rather than weeks and weeks. So yeah, this is the Sockhead Slouch Hat, which is a free pattern on Ravelry. I knit it in February. Did I say that? I can't remember. And when I put it on, it sort of looks like that. To be honest, I don't like the pattern as it is on me. The ribbing I find is far too tight. It just makes my head look squashed. On me, I think it looks far better like that. I'm not sure if that's the way it's supposed to be worn. It's a long time since I've actually looked at the pattern. It may be that that's the way it's supposed to be worn. And that is quite slouchy at the back. I think if I was going to knit it again, I probably would want to finish it off about there. So yes, I would knit this pattern again, but I would make some slight modifications so that it looked good on me, or I felt happier and more comfortable wearing it. So yeah, that is the Sockhead Slouch Hat. As I was saying yesterday as well, just before I went to bed, later today, the Queen is going to be addressing the nation. I believe from, I want to say Windsor, I'm not sure if that's right. She's in one of her castles, she's in one of her palaces somewhere, where she will be addressing the nation. Apparently, according to something I saw on YouTube earlier today, this is only the 4th time in her reign that she has addressed the nation. 2 of those 3 previous times have been the Gulf War, although I can't remember if it was the first or the second one, the death of Diana, Princess of Wales, And although the news article I was watching on YouTube didn't say what the third one was, from watching The Crown on Netflix, I suspect it was after Aberfan in the 60s. So friends and I have sort of had a conversation along the lines of, what do you think is going to be in there? And my suspicion is it's going to be pretty similar to a Christmas message, but with the underlying tone of stay away, stay at home, rather than the Christmas message of communion and unity and community and coming together. I just realised that the word community has the word unity in it. No idea why I never noticed that before. So yes, I will watch that. That's on at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock this evening. We also think that it's going to involve things like thanks to NHS workers, thank you to the other people who've been keeping the country going. So shop staff, refuse collectors, everyday workers who have been keeping the country going over the last 10 days, fortnight or so. I also suspect there's going to be something about unity and strength and British values and facing challenges, quite possibly something about faith communities, particularly the Christian faith communities. And sorry, I had to scratch my neck, and the scratching of my neck and wondering whether people are going to notice the fact I'm scratching my neck, which of course that's going to happen, has now completely put me off what I was going to say. Strength, solidarity, community, staying away from each other, thank you to the people keeping the country going, faith communities. I think that's it. Yes. So we will see. We'll have to watch that and see what Mrs. Queen says. And then an hour before that, and I'm so pleased these things haven't happened at the same time, is Yarnistry doing a beaver draw. So the lady behind Yarnistry, who I will admit I don't know her name, does from time to time a beaver draw. So beavers are the little plastic cubicles. No, not cubicles. Little plastic balls that you get in arcade machines or gumball machines. So she has filled a whole load of these little plastic balls up with stitch markers and other knitting bits and pieces. I think stickers, possibly yarn, minis, I don't know exactly, I can't remember. And the way it works is that you buy one or more. She does a live draw. She'll give you a number just beforehand. She does a live draw so you can watch your beaver being pulled from the machine to see what it is that you've won. So it's essentially a lucky dip. And I decided I was going to buy 2 beavers because they were £4 each, so relatively cheap. I don't have a lot of disposable income at the moment, but that's relatively cheap. I've never taken place in a beaver draw before. I thought it might be something fun, given the fact that the world is just kind of a bit grim at the moment. So anything that's a bit fun and a bit different is good. And also, most importantly, she is raising money for the Trussell Foundation. I really should check these things before I start recording. But the Trussell Trust, who are responsible for putting together and staffing food banks, which is a very important charity and one I'm more than happy to support, particularly at the moment. So that is at 7 o'clock this evening. And I'd seen this advertised, I don't know, a week, 10 days ago, possibly even longer than that, I can't remember now. I thought, yes, I must buy one, that'll be really good. And then I saw something on Instagram saying that she was going to cap the number of beavers at 500 because they were selling really well. And obviously the more beavers she does, the longer the draw is going to take place and the more postage and packaging and sending out and work that generates afterwards. So I was like, right, fine, only 500, numbers are limited, I have to go and buy one. Well, I actually bought 2. And then yesterday I got my numbers, and my numbers are something like 492 and 493, or 493 and 494. So I have just got in before the cap, which is quite exciting. So that will be something to look forward to this evening. So that's basically my summary of what I've done so far today, which is basically not much at all. But it was a lot of words to tell you that I've not done much at all today. update on the Queen's broadcast situation. James has looked up online, and, to quote the BBC website, the previous addresses from the Queen to the nation, excluding Christmas addresses, have been the beginning of the land war in Iraq in 1991, the death of Diana, Princess of Wales, the death of the Queen's mother, and a brief message of thanks after the celebration of the Queen's Diamond Jubilee. These are not requested by the government. The palace discreetly corrects those who suggest that. They are made after agreement between Downing Street and Buckingham Palace. There you have it. There you go, this is me, putting my hat in the drawer, ready for next winter. That's about 7:45, 10 to 8. I have been watching the Arnistry live draw since 7 o'clock, and by 25 to 8 they'd only got to about 138. So I think it's fair to say it'll be a while before my number comes up. So James is sitting ready to watch the Queen. I need to go and set up my camera to see if there's anything I can record. And of course this was the exact moment I decided I wanted to trim my fringe, because of course it is. It's about 9:10. The Arnistry numbers are currently in the 420s. I think it might be sometime tomorrow before my number is literally up. We're just about to have dinner while we wait.